Hey, welcome to Mad Props. So this is gonna be episode 70. But it's gonna be a throwback episode. As you can tell, it's audio only if you're trying to watch. If you're listening, it's audio only. I kind of ran out of time. I was out of town all weekend. Um, and I had a pretty good solo episode I had planned to do, but I was just never able to get around to it. Um, just been super busy. But I don't want to miss a week or be late. So it's super late Sunday night. Um, Realizing I wasn't able to get anything together and not going to be able to put together a whole episode and release it by the Monday deadline. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to release a throwback episode with Hannibal Buress interview from 2014. So a 10-year-old interview. For those of you that don't know, I release these throwback episodes of old interviews I've done that are hard to put on the internet in any other way. So I kind of put them part of Mad Props, and you get to listen to my come up in interviewing and see what it used to sound like and what it sounds like now. So this is with Hannibal Buress for WNHU. That's going to be coming up. But on top of that, I'm also going to release a full episode by the end of this week. Probably, I'm looking at Wednesday or Thursday to drop an episode. So you get this throwback episode, but then you're going to get a full length episode as well. So that's kind of the plan. Just because I want to make sure I get content out there, but I want to also make sure that I am, not not overdoing it or putting out bad stuff, because I feel like if I would have done a full episode right now, it wouldn't have come out as good as possible. So make sure you follow us at Mad Props Pod on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn. Oh, sorry, follow Schnabel Studios on all three of those: Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, TikTok, and subscribe to YouTube. Comment, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube for Schnabel Studios and all that stuff. We have some full length videos coming out soon. Can't really talk too much about them, but in the next couple months, we should have a couple videos coming out and stuff like that. So it's pretty exciting. And our shorts have been doing really well. So thank you guys for watching and liking and sharing the shorts on YouTube. I do promote a lot on YouTube. So if you're not following our YouTube, like if you're listening to this and you don't realize we have a YouTube, we promote very hard on the YouTube, including in our community page, and our long form, obviously, with the podcast, and our short form, we release clips from podcasts, and then we have other videos that we work on because a lot of the freelancing stuff goes up there. So go ahead and check out Schnabel Studios on YouTube at Schnabel Studios. So Hannibal Buress, for those of you who don't know, he's a stand-up comedian, been on a bunch of stuff, wrote for 30 Rock and a bunch of other shows. He was on the Eric Andre show at the time of this coming out. Very early in my interview career, I would say at this point, I've maybe conducted 4 to 5 interviews. I've already interviewed Rev Run, which will be coming on the throwback eventually. Already interviewed H. John Benjamin. Already interviewed Jackie Onassis, the band, not Jackie Onassis, the first lady of the United States, because she wasn't around anymore. But anyway, the only other thing I'll add to this before I throw it over to that throwback episode is the content coming out for this episode this week will be completely fresh content not related to this podcast. There might be 1 or 2 things of Hannibal answering a question or something like that, but for the most part, I really want to make it fresh content. I think I'm going to do the part 2 to the relievers. If you guys haven't seen, we had a relievers list go really, really hard. It had like 12,000 views. Thank you everybody that commented and liked and everything, shared it, contributed to it. I can't believe it did that well. And no promotion, not really any sharing on our end. Nothing like that, but it was just a really good piece of content. So we're probably going to do 5 through 10 because it's been very requested. Maybe we'll get some other stuff. I can't really give any previews because obviously I didn't even make a full episode this week, so I can't sit here and say I know what I'm gonna do for all the promotional stuff for that. So you can expect that sometime tomorrow afternoon. The first piece of content from that, and that should be good. And then there'll be something with Hannibal Buress as well. I think for the full episode, I had one all scripted out, kind of in my notes. I just have to put it together so it looks really good. But I want to go through my weight loss journey. I've talked about it on other podcasts. I've talked about it here and there on this podcast, but I have never actually broke down my entire weight loss journey. So if it's not this episode, it's going to be an episode coming up. If it's not this Wednesday, I should say it'll be an episode coming up really soon, because I'm really excited to get there. I hope everybody had a safe weekend. I hope everybody went out there and got their free comic book. I came back with a fat stack of comic books. The place I went let you get 3 for this year, 5 for last year, which was pretty dope. I got the Spider-Man, I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I got the Pokemon one, because that's what I like. And then for last year, I don't remember what I got, but I did get 5. And then I picked up a couple of other ones, because you don't just want to go in there, take your free ones, and leave. You know, you want to support the local comic book shops that you go to. That's the whole point of the free comic book day, is to support local comic book shops. So I went out, I bought a couple of ones I like Spider-Man, and I bought the new Hickman series, which I think was Ultimate. And then I bought a couple of independent artist ones that I'm really excited to check out. So maybe we'll talk about those in the future. Maybe I'll try to get those guys on so they can talk about their comics. But anyway, let's get to Hannibal Buress. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry for the throwback episode in this one, but I wanted to make sure I got content out there. There will be another episode coming out later this week. So this will be a 2 podcast released week. We haven't done that in a while, so I'm very excited to do that. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe to us at Schnabel Studios on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you follow the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast, because we try very hard, and it's appreciated. Thank you guys. I will see you later this week. Enjoy Hannibal Buress.
Welcome back. We're joined by a special guest. He started out writing for shows such as Saturday Night Live and 30 Rock. He's been on television shows such as Louie, The Eric Andre Show, and Broad City. He's also performed on Kimball, Letterman, Conan, and Fallon. He's performing at the Capitol Theater on February 7th. Let's welcome Hannibal Buress. Hannibal, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're good as well. So you're now through about 5 shows. How is the tour going so far?
The tour's going well, man. The tour's going well. It's been a lot of packed shows and doing some nice theaters, good venues, and been adding shows in some cities, so it's been going smoothly.
So you've been doing stand-up for a while now, and we've watched some of your stand-up, and it's pretty funny. When did you decide, in your life that you wanted to be a stand-up comic, for a living?
I started in college. I did an open mic in college and tried it out and had a lot of fun, so I just kept doing it from there.
What's your favorite place to do stand-up?
I enjoy doing stand-up at home in Chicago, the Comedy Cellar in New York is one of the best rooms in the world. UCB Theater in New York. San Francisco is a great comedy town. So a lot of places I like to perform.
Is that the place where, because you're seen on Louie a couple times, is that the place where that's based?
Yeah.
Are you that group of comedians there? Are you guys actually friends and outside the show?
I mean, yeah, I know some of those guys. Yeah, I know we're cool with each other.
All right, you have 2 shows that are currently airing in Broad City and the Eric Andre Show. Let's start with Eric Andre Show. How'd you guys start that show? It's a hilarious show. How'd you come up with the idea?
Well, that's Eric's idea. It's Eric's show, so he had been doing different live versions of it a few years ago, and he, had this weird talk show I did. So he was doing live versions of it, and we filmed one where, he wanted me to be the sidekick. We tried that out, and then, we pitched it around. He pitched it around to different companies, and finally Adult Swim was on board, so we shot another pilot, and that's how it went. And now we're 3 seasons in.
I'm just curious to know what the budget is for the tables, because it seems like a lot of the budget for the show goes into breaking those tables.
Yeah, there's a lot of desks that I broke. We spent about $500,000 per season on desks.
Oh wow! And so the celebrities look like they have no idea what's going on. You don't tell them anything. Do you just say like walk through the curtain and just let everything happen, or do they have any idea?
No, I mean people are prepped somewhat. We try to mix it up, but if they've watched the show, or if their publicist has looked at the show, they'll know what kind of vibe it is. But they don't always do that. So yeah, people sometimes can get caught off guard, which is good for television. What do
you feel was the most awkward guest? Who do you think had the most awkward time being on the show?
Lauren Conrad, she walked off because Eric faked like
he was throwing up. Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno was kind of upset. But for the most part, people kind of roll with it and just have fun,
Now, I personally love the episode where you were the main host. Are we going to see any more of that in the future?
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe for the next season, but the season finale is airing tonight, so it won't be any more this season. But maybe going forward, yeah.
Now, you were in Neighbors, and when you did that episode, was that the same cop uniform?
No, everybody has different cop uniform. Maybe it's the same company, but no, it's different cop stuff. Uniform.
Did you? Because I loved you, Neighbors. You were really funny. Were some of your lines improv, or was it like said? Because it seemed like it's pretty natural with you screwing around with some of those guys on set.
Yeah, it was both. Some of it scripted, some of it improv stuff, and so yeah, we mix it up. The guys on set, Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen, and they would all, pick, like, you'll be in the middle of the scene and you do it one time, and then they'll say, hey, try it like this, or say this line, or see how this works. So it was always kind of encouraged to try out different things. Once you have the scene down as scripted, then, it's good to just try different stuff.
All right, your Live from Chicago special it's ranked up there as one of the best ones of 2014. How does it feel to be recognized for something you do for a living, to be so highly regarded for something you do for a living?
It's cool, man. I mean, I work really hard at stand up and I tour and try to put out good material. So it's good for when they look back at the year in stand up that my stuff gets recognized, and just, hope more people are able to see it and enjoy it.
Who were some of your comedian influences for stand-up?
Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, Patrice O'Neal, Louis is great, Bill Burr, those guys.
Do you have a movie coming out this year called Daddy's Home with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg? Can you tell us a little bit about that movie?
Yeah, I play a handyman. Will breaks a bunch of stuff in his house, and I play a handyman who comes over and then ends up thinking that Will's character is racist, and so we have a contentious relationship over the course of the film. I really don't like him, so it'd be a nice size role. It's going to be the biggest role I've had in a major film, so I'm excited to see how it comes together.
Do you drop the racism is out of control these days line on set at all?
No, that's for my stand-up.
How long does it take you to come up with new material?
It's going to take at least a couple months to come up with a solid hour, or up to a year of coming up with it. I mean, you can come up with material, but to hone it, it takes some time to work it and hone it and figure out where it goes in the set, the order, and different things like that.
Do you still go down to New Orleans and throw parades for yourself?
I haven't done it in a while. I did it. I had one after a show I did in New Orleans. We had a second line, but we didn't even go anywhere. We just kind of stood outside the venue.
Ever since I heard that, I've always wanted to raise $300 just so I can go myself and throw a parade for myself.
You got to do it, man. Do it. Make it happen for yourself.
Do you ever talk to Donald Glover about being his agent to get into a show?
Yeah, I talked to him. I told him the day that it happened that it was pretty funny. Yeah, man. Sometimes you gotta just lie and then make up stuff to make it happen. So that's all that was. I didn't think they would let me use my name, but I don't think they knew me at the time. So I dropped Donald's name and it worked out.
Now, did you meet Donald through 30 Rock?
No, I knew Donald through doing stand-up in New York.
Oh, okay.
So do you think that if we had a chance, we could try to? It seems like you have a lot of stories that we could try out as normal people too. Like we could try to say we're somebody's agent, or we could go down to New Orleans and have a parade and stop traffic for a day. And do you think that, or is that something intentional with your stories that you make for your comedy, or does it just happen to be naturally like that?
No, it's just stuff situations that I think were funny and I think people would enjoy them, So that's just how I approach doing stand-up. It's just stuff that happened to me that I think was funny and interesting, and I'm thinking about it a lot, so I talk about it.
All right, well, thank you for joining us. You're listening to some Chance the Rapper.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Mad Props. You got to listen to myself, Joe Brown, Chris Millay. I know Chris Millay's never been on the podcast, but who was the other voice you were hearing there other than Hannibal Buress and myself. And everybody here knows Joe Brown because we're a big fan of Joe Brown. Make sure you like, subscribe, and subscribe to the podcast at Schnabel Studios on YouTube, or just like our podcast, Mad Props Pod, anywhere else. Make sure you make sure you subscribe or follow, whatever, our social medias. It's late. Go to the social medias, check that out. At Schnabel Studios or at Mad Props Pod, either way you want to go. Sorry, guys, didn't get to hear Chance the Rapper there. That's when Chance was killing it too, as you probably heard. It was about to be a good ass intro, and I think I'm about to go listen to that, play myself out with that. I can't play it on here because of copyright reasons, but I'm gonna play myself out with that. But thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for being here. Thank you again. We will see you later this week here on Mad Props.